Our story begins with a truly remarkable woman horse rider. She was so skilled, so well known, a real legend. She was married and had a sweet little daughter. One day, while performing some of her amazing stunts on her horse, tragedy struck. She died suddenly and so very, very, very pathetically. It was a devastating moment. She was gone, and she left her little girl behind. The grief, the sheer pathos for her husband and that little daughter, whom they named Lucky, was immense. Her aunt was the one raising her, and the aunt loved her with all her heart. But Lucky, she just wasn't happy there. She was restless and seemed to forbid everything that was asked of her. She just didn't like staying home. One day, Lucky's grandfather was having a serious meeting with some people. But what does Lucky do? She starts acting foolishly right in front of him. He felt so embarrassed. He turned to Lucky's aunt and said, "Kindly take her to her father. Maybe she needs a different environment and her father can teach her something. She is simply not under our control." And so, the aunt took Lucky and set off to find her father. They were traveling by train, and Lucky, finally out of the house, was absolutely enjoying this journey. At one point, Lucky's aunt stepped away to get some snacks. It was then that Lucky observed some horses out of the train window. They immediately attracted her. She felt a thrill of pleasure just seeing them. She leaned out, continuously staring at them. It was a clear sign. You could really see that Lucky was truly the daughter of a horse rider. When the horses finally went out of sight, Lucky grew sad. She was enjoying the view so much. Driven by an impulse, she got off the train and rushed to the last railway carriage. She wanted to get a look from the back, maybe even touch the horses quickly. For this, she leaned way out. If a man hadn't spotted her and rescued her from the backside, she surely would have fallen right after the horses. You see, just like her mother, who never used to care for her own life when she was with horses, Lucky was already showing that trait, the very habit that had tragically taken her mother's life. They reached their final stop, the terminus where Lucky's father lived. But he wasn't there to pick them up, so Lucky's aunt started to search for him. Meanwhile, the same man who had rescued Lucky was talking to his friends. "We have no money," he was saying, "but I have a great option. I saw some wild horses. We can make a lot of money catching and selling them." As the train passed, Lucky looked in the opposite direction and was immediately filled with excitement. It was the same place where her mother used to have horse riding. She rushed over and began talking to everyone there. Her mother's old friend gifted her a little scarf, saying, "Take it. It belonged to your mother." She even made friends with a girl her age who was riding a horse, but her aunt soon arrived and took her away. On the way, they met a young boy who began to tease them with useless talk. Finally, they reached the house of Lucky's father. But when Lucky saw her father, she didn't meet him intimately. There was a distance. It was understandable. Lucky hadn't seen her father in her conscious memory until now. He had given her responsibility to her aunt when her mother died. So, why would Lucky have any love for him? Lucky's father tried. He showed her a beautiful, adorable room, saying, "It is my daughter's room. It is for you, Lucky." Lucky started checking everything out and truly enjoying the sight of her mother's past. When Lucky came outside, she saw the man who had rescued her. He had caught the very horse that had caused her excitement on the train. But this horse was strong and was not letting them take control. Then, the people whose stable was there arrived. One of them told the man, "You cannot behave like this with the horse. Leave it. Don't tease it." Frightened, the men left after tying the horse. So she did a brave thing. She released the horse so it could wander freely, but only within the boundary of its stable. Night fell and dinner was served. Lucky, her aunt, and her father were at the dining table. Lucky, full of excitement, told her father, "Father, do you know that I made friends with a horse? It played so much, and I liked it, and I have named it Spirit." Hearing this, her father flew into a rage. "Lucky," he shouted, "keep yourself away from the horses." It was so clear why he was saying this. His wife had died in horse riding. She was so interested in it, and he absolutely did not want his daughter to develop an interest in horses or horse riding. Her daughter's life was the dearest thing to him, but Lucky was just angry hearing her father's harsh words, especially since he hadn't revealed the truth to her. As dawn broke, Lucky immediately went to meet Spirit, her favorite horse. Two girls showed her how to tame Spirit and how to become friends with him. Lucky started feeding Spirit an apple every day. She talked to him, loved him, trying to befriend him more closely, hoping to touch him one day. Finally, that day came. Spirit began to fully trust Lucky. It was a fortunate, exciting day for her. Full of joy, she even reconciled with her father and wore her mother's dress because she was so excited. She decided to ride Spirit for the first time. Her plan was just to stay within the stable boundary, but that same mischievous kid from before spoiled her plan. He opened the stable door. Spirit galloped off with Lucky riding him, reaching the hills. Her two friends immediately galloped after her so that Lucky wouldn't get hurt. Lucky's father also found out and was incredibly upset. As Spirit kept galloping, her friends yelled, "Lucky, just jump, we will rescue you." Lucky bravely jumped from the running horse, and her two friends rescued her by holding her hand. If they had been a second late, Lucky could have met her end, falling on the ground. Spirit galloped away. Lucky's father arrived too. He loved her dearly, but when they got home, he was furious. "I had forbidden you," he raged. "Why do you not follow me?" When Lucky didn't reply in a way he found acceptable, he declared, "Enough, Lucky. You will have to go back. The horses will leave a bad impact on you if you stay here." Lucky absolutely disliked this. She went back to the place where Spirit had galloped. Fortunately, she found other horses that were of Spirit's same race. She spent time with them, and they all enjoyed their time together. Then, that man who had rescued her in the train appeared again. Remember his idea: to make money by capturing and selling the wild horses. And so, they began to steal all the horses to take them to another city. Spirit desperately wanted to save his family but couldn't. Spirit immediately rushed to Lucky. She rode him to the town to ask the town folk for help. First, she went to her friend who owned the stable. But the friend said, "No, I am not insane. Why would I pursue a train passing over perilous roads? We are still kids. How can we chase that speedy train? And even if we stop it, how will we rescue those horses from them?" Then, Lucky's other friend, the blonde-haired one, arrived. She got ready to go, but the stable owner friend still wouldn't consent. So, Lucky had to leave alone, saying, "However perilous the way, I will surely cross it. I will rescue the race of Spirit. They have sentiments, and they breathe after all." As she moved ahead, she noticed that her two friends were also following her. Witnessing them, she felt a wave of relief. All three galloped ahead on their horses. Going forward, they saw an old bridge. The bridge was damaged, and as a horse stepped on it, it fell down. Now they couldn't go this way. Lucky's friend had been right. The shortcut was full of risks. They had to jump across. The other two girls jumped over, but Lucky wasn't skilled enough. Lucky and Spirit both fell down, but luckily they were safe and didn't get hurt. Lucky's friend called down, "Don't lose your courage. You can come up. You just have to trust each other." Lucky helped Spirit get up, and then, riding him, they began to ascend. They all galloped forward. A little further, they noticed a narrow road with a deep drop below. If their foot slipped even slightly, they could die. But they crossed this path too and felt excited. They stayed there that night. They knew they'd reach the spot quickly because of the shortcut. They figured the train would also stop there for water. They ate their food and had a lot of fun. Their horses had befriended each other too. On the other side, Lucky's father was shown. He was repenting, thinking, "I wish I had not scolded my daughter last night." He was so upset. Where had his daughter gone? The neighbor, whose daughter was with Lucky, also arrived. They planned to search for their daughters together and took the train to find them. Meanwhile, Lucky and her friends were waiting for the horse train. When it arrived, they all began to run toward it. In Lucky's mind, they were fighting the men, kicking them, making the train stop, and releasing Spirit's race by opening the door. But wait, don't feel too excited. It was just a dream of Lucky's. Lucky woke up and noticed the train had arrived, but she had lost the opportunity because of her sleep. Spirit had already rushed there to try and rescue his group of horses. Lucky woke up her friends and began to go there. However, that man had grabbed Spirit and taken him away in the train with him. But Lucky didn't lose hope, and her friend was also raising her spirit. Finally, they reached the place where the train had stopped. The men were moving the horses onto a ship to sell them. But here, Lucky again trickily released Spirit. Yet, the race of horses had already sailed away on the ship. At that moment, Lucky's father, her aunt, and her friend's father also arrived. Now, Lucky and Spirit were determined. They would rescue Spirit's race at any cost. They jumped high and managed to get onto the ship. Seeing this, Lucky's father nearly lost consciousness, but his daughter had succeeded. On the ship, Spirit began to fight the men, kicking them, while Lucky started releasing Spirit's race. She won. All the horses came outside. Spirit also wounded the men, and then he immediately jumped into the water. Spirit signaled to his race to jump too, and all the horses followed. Lucky was in the water, and her father also jumped in to rescue her. With Spirit helping them, they reached the bank. Just as Lucky rescued Spirit's race, Spirit was now saving Lucky and her father. Reaching the bank and holding her hands, Lucky's father spoke with deep emotion. "I apologize, my dear daughter, that I stopped you. I should have believed in you. I am proud of you. Your mother would have felt proud of you if she were alive today. She would be proud that her daughter is bold like her. You can do what you like. My daughter is not behind anyone else." In the end, Lucky and her friends went to take Spirit back to his race so they could live where they belonged. But neither Lucky nor Spirit wanted to leave each other. A close relationship had been created between them in just a few days. A friendship so close, you don't even find it among human beings. Lucky's father saw this and told her, "You may stay with me forever if you desire. Here, Lucky put on her mother's dress. She looked absolutely charming. They all attended a gala, singing and dancing, and Lucky's father sang her mother's favorite song. It brought Lucky such comfort. She was finally feeling pleasure, living with her father. She had all the attributes that her mother possessed. It was this trait, this spirit, that would move her forward in life. I hope you liked the explanation.